Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I want you to check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of my merch, y'all. I've added some new things like my mermaid cups and the mermaid tees, and also the Shake Them Tits mugs. All right, you asked for it and you got it. Check out Bondy's merch at Bondy's Boutique. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another Family or Fiance review, you guys. All right, y'all, last night's episode was good. It was Solani and Justin, okay? Solani and Justin have been together for 3 years. They met on Tinder, okay? He lived 3,000 miles away from her, okay? And they saw each other about 20 times or less before Justin decided to move to where Solani was, okay? They don't have the blessing from neither one of their sides of family right now. Solani has a 14-year-old son who claims that Justin can be a tad bit, I don't know, like overreactionary. Like, I know that's not the way you say it, but he can have like a really strong reaction, overreact to things sometimes, and it would just make Solani's son feel a little bit uncomfortable with the way he can respond to things and spaz or whatever. Now, on his side of the family, his mama, Cynthia, and his 2 sisters are coming for him, and they mad because they didn't know about the engagement until it was time to call them to come and be on the show, okay? So his mom and sisters get to the house first. Justin tells his mom that he's in school for film. Apparently, she didn't know that. The family is definitely feeling separation since he moved. They don't know anything that's going on in his life, and they feeling some type of way about that. Mom says she hasn't seen him since he moved to LA. Look, his family was already giving me enabling tease, okay? Like, his mama was just way too ready to be on his defense. He a grown-ass man. Let him speak for himself. You babying the shit out of him. And then the 2 sisters with they, you know, they extraness or whatever. Really, the youngest sister was the most extra, okay? I don't even remember all their names. Pamela and something else. But they're gonna just be the 2 sisters for right now, okay? Y'all ain't the main characters, all right? Y'all are co-stars, okay? So then her mom, her sister, and then her mom's name is Susan. I think her sister name is Nefertiti, and then her brother cousin name is Philip. Her mom is worried about how her grandson fits into this equation, okay? She's worried about whatever the grandson is worried about. And right now, the grandson, the baby, Solani's son, is worried about the way Justin treats his mom when he gets upset or aggravated about something. So, of course, we have to go through the line of things that the family has issue with. And his oldest sister, Pamela, says that she can't support their wedding because she never talks to him. And I'm like, what the fuck that got to do? See, a lot of y'all want to blame the woman for what y'all brother, son, whatever refuses to do. Okay, if he decided to move and then not have a relationship with you the way that you feel is appropriate, what does that have to do with her? You need to have a conversation with him about that. That's how I feel, y'all, okay? Because I feel like even if she did tell him you gotta call your mama, you gotta call your sister, if he don't feel like it, that's not what he gonna do. She can't make the man do nothing, okay? That's how I feel about it. Cynthia, his mom, is upset that neither of them told her that they were engaged. And he says that his mom can be intense from time to time, and her approval is hard to get. So I have a feeling that his mom can do a lot sometimes on his behalf and do a lot as it pertains to him, and he don't feel like dealing with all of that sometimes. People who don't like to deal with confrontation will not talk about things, will not give information to the people that it needs to be given to, just because they don't want to have to deal with the reaction of it all. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to hear your negative comments, okay? I understand that, but at the end of the day, if you want your family's approval, then you should have went about this the right way, which means including them when you decide to marry somebody, okay, Justin? That's just the way it is. Now, Philip wonders if this relationship is one-sided. That's his problem. It seems as if Solani might give a little bit more than Justin gives. Susan says that Justin has PTSD, and everybody gets upset. Okay, his mom gets upset, he gets upset. They don't like to have conversations about PTSD because they feel like people who don't have it don't understand, so the conversations never be what they supposed to be. Cynthia, his mom, gets so upset about it, she walks away, okay? She walks away. She don't want to deal with this because she has PTSD too. They both were in service. He was in the Navy and he was a medic, and he worked on enemies and worked on people with, you know, stuff blown off, and he's seen some things. So he's still dealing with a lot. And right there on the spot, he, you know, breaks down crying because he doesn't want to have to deal with it. And even though I understand there's nothing wrong with a man crying, in that moment, that showed me that he is emotionally unstable. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, y'all, but him and his mama are emotionally unstable. So no fault of their own, but they got to deal with those issues before they decide to bring other people into the equation, because they don't want to be asked questions. You know, Susan, Solani's mama, wants to ask questions, wants to have an understanding, wants to be clear, wants to express how she worries about how her grandson will deal with Justin's PTSD whenever it rears. But they can't have that conversation because they don't want to talk about it. And that's a problem. You can't fix it if you don't talk about it. Okay, that's just what it is, y'all. If you got a problem in your life and you think you're about to get through that problem without talking about it, you're sadly mistaken, baby. You're sadly mistaken. Cynthia felt as if Solani should have defended Justin. I don't know what she wanted to defend him against. Like, all they were asking is about the PTSD. There was nothing to defend. But see, that's the way Cynthia is. I think she's probably been overbearing with her son, which is probably why his ass moved away and was happy to move away, because he would not have her being overbearing. Susan just wants them to be able to deal with the issues. So Philip and Justin, two people who seem to have never really played basketball, that's their activity, to go play basketball together. I'm like, these niggas couldn't play dominoes or cards or something like that. Philip asked Justin, why all the secrecy as it regards to the wedding? Why would you not talk to your family about you getting married? And he says that he just didn't want to be judged. He wants people to understand the PTSD, but he doesn't want to actually have to explain anything. And I'm like, well, that's not how this works. People who have not dealt with need to be talked to. They need to have things explained to them. And if you are not willing to do that, you can't then get upset at those people when they are misinformed about what you're going through. You're not sharing, okay? Sharing is caring. If you want people to understand your plight, if you want people to understand what you are going through, you have to be able to vocalize that to them in a way that's not yelling, that's not screaming, that's not defensive, that's not, you know, just filled with anger, misplaced anger at that. You know what I mean? Because sadness does come through as anger for a lot of people. So then we pop over to the women who are doing 20 questions. And the secrecy topic comes up on their end. And from what I understand, Solani thought that Justin had this conversation with his mom. And she has, you know, told him, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. But she can't force him to do anything, you know? Justin is always in school, always, because he's in school right now for film, so he's doing that, and she doesn't want to get in the way of his dream, but at the same time he went and did that without communicating with her, and now all of the time that they spend is taken up by school, and then she has a child and she has a job, and now she's had to fix her life in order to be in his, and he didn't even really take her life into consideration before making a decision like that. So it's a lot of things that Solani has dealt with quietly to be in this relationship. At dinner, they discuss him not telling her about going to school. And Susan wants to know how he handled communication in the Navy, because you can't seem to handle communication outside of the Navy. So how is it that you handled it in the Navy? And then him and his mama start talking about how, you know, you don't show any emotion. And it's like, well, that's not what we're talking about. How did you deal with communication? Take the emotions out of it. How do you communicate with your commanding officers? You just talk. You just tell them what it is, correct? Like, that's what we're trying to get y'all to understand, that he can't even have the simplest of conversations about what he's doing in his life with his woman or his mom and his sisters. So why everybody has the aggression towards Solani like this is her fault, I don't understand. Justin does say, however, that he's always done things on his own. He's always, you know, just done what he wants to do. And Solani says that she's had to put her life on hold in order to fit into his life. And he says that that's not true. He admits that he's been selfish, but when she says that she feels as if she's always giving and always switching around her life for him, he wants to say that that's not true. And I'm like, How is that not true when that's exactly what we're talking about right now? You not telling her about school and then her having to move her life around to fit you into her life when you can fit into her life because all you do is be at school all day. Okay, so it's just he's not very considerate at all of her feelings, and when she says how she feels, instead of understanding her side of it, he's defensive. And then his mom and his sisters are at the table and they back him up in that, because Philip, the cousin, was basically saying, you know, he's seen the things that Solani has had to do in order to shape her life in a way that is, you know, conducive to Justin's life after decisions have already been made without her inclusion. And then Justin's little sister jumps up because everybody's talking over everybody. So she jumps up. Everybody just shut up. Just shut up. First of all, little girl, you are not grown enough, and you damn sure ain't never gonna be grown enough to tell nobody mama that they need to shut up, okay? I had a fucking problem with that. That little girl needed to go sit her ass down somewhere, and the fact that her fucking mama or her older sister didn't tell her that she needed to stop made me mad. Yes, y'all do not need to speak over one another. We need to have a conversation where we can understand each other, but that does not mean that the youngest person at this table can stand her little ass up and tell all these grown ass people they need to shut up. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. And so she just runs off into her room after she calls Solani a bitch and all of this. I'm like, now if you was around a different set of people, you would have got your ass dragged in here. Okay? Like, I'm just saying, y'all, let somebody would have stood up and said and told my mama to shut up. Bitch. And she may not have been saying it directly towards her, but she was telling everybody to shut up. And I feel like if you can't take what's going on in here, take your little young ass up there to your room and go calm your little fucking nerves or something like that. Because come at me like that and I'd have put all the little pretty hair out your head, bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't deal with stuff like that. I can't deal with stuff like that. All right? Justin doesn't even know if he wants to continue this process after this. I'm like, child, y'all ain't even been through nothing. Okay, y'all ain't even been through nothing. He needs to get therapy. I don't think he can fully be in a relationship with someone when he can't have a conversation. He can't deal with conflict. He can't deal with anything that's above cool. And even when shit is cool, he can't be honest about decisions he's making or how he's feeling. Solani's family is not feeling Justin's family. And Cynthia, Justin's mom, feels like they were ganging up on Justin. And it's like, why? Because we're trying to get some form of understanding. Because I really feel like the problem is, and the son has said this, but we didn't really delve into it. When he gets upset, I think that son does not like the way he talks to or treats his mother. And he expressed that to the grandmother, Susan. So now Susan wants to know, how is your son, Cynthia, going to deal with conflict resolution? How is he going to deal with communication without upsetting my fucking grandson? That is what Susan is trying to do. But she being real nice about it right now. But I feel like I've just had it up the hill with Justin's mama and his sisters and their defensiveness with dealing with his issues. Okay, you getting mad and telling people not to ask questions don't mean that your son don't have issues. So Solani and Justin talked to Tracy, and Solani is bothered because he didn't tell his family about the engagement, even though she thought that he did. Okay, he doesn't want to disappoint his family, and I'm like, what about getting engaged as a grown-ass man is supposed to disappoint your family? I'm so confused. Tracy tells them that she's going to bring in a specialist to talk to them in the family about PTSD. Then Tracy tells Solani that she needs to go and have a conversation with her son, you know, and just have a better understanding of how he feels about them getting married. So Dr. Allie is the doctor who is, you know, specializes in PTSD, and she talks to them about PTSD, how people have re-experiencing episodes and how they have those episodes and that draws them to have avoidance issues and isolating themselves. And then eventually, once you don't want to feel anymore because you felt too much, then you go numb. So it's best to get help. It's best to deal with those things, because if you don't, they'll just keep snowballing into a bigger and a bigger issue. Cynthia says that when she get home, she needs to get help because she realizes that it's a lot right now and she's not handling it properly. So she needs to go ahead and get help handling it properly. Okay. She also says that you can have a healthy relationship. Talking about Dr. Allie said that you can have a healthy relationship with someone who is going through PTSD as long as y'all are communicating with one another. So when Solani goes to talk to her son, he expresses how he feels about when Justin is upset or, you know, angry about something, and the way he reacts to Solani, and how he doesn't like that. He doesn't, you know, like how that is at all. And he didn't want to ruin things. That's why he didn't say anything to his mom. But he doesn't think that they should get married right now. And the realization of that, and the realization that he wasn't saying anything because he didn't want to ruin things, now has Solani thinking that maybe she needs to take a step back, okay? So they talk to Tracy, and she says that her son doesn't want her to get married, and that was a realization for her, because before that hadn't really been put on her mind like that. She thought that they had a good relationship, and for the most part they do. But when those moments happen, her son doesn't feel comfortable with the way Justin treats his mother, and that makes him not really be here for their union. Justin says that he feels terrible that her son feels that way, and it's obvious that he needs to change. And I think that whether they get married or not, this situation showed them who they are and what their issues are if they were trying to ignore them, because people love ignoring their issues, okay? Solani says that his family runs from situations, you know, in every situation where they got into some type of conflict, everybody wants to get up and run off. The mama, the sister, him, everybody wants to run away, and that's not the way you deal with things. Solani also says that she notices how he tenses up around his mom. Even when it's not an argument, he's tensing up. And he doesn't even want to admit to that. You know, he wants to act like it's all good between him and his mom, even though he said that he's stressed out about her approval. So we get to everybody, and Lil Sis don't, you know, she said, look, I don't really know Solani, and the things that I know about her aren't good. I'm like, really, bitch? What things do you know about Solani that aren't good? Girl, just be quiet. Of course she doesn't approve. Girl, we don't approve of you. Okay, grow up. Pamela, the older sister, says that they have good plans, but she doesn't see it right now, so it's a no for her too. Okay, she sees the good, but they need to work on this first. Philip, the cousin, says the same. He thinks that they have something good, but they need to work on things first. Nefertiti, her sister, says that they need to fix their communication issues first. Susan, her mom, doesn't want them fucking up her grandson with their inconsistencies. That's her main thing here. So they're not getting her okay either. Cynthia, his mom, says that she wishes she would have known about their relationship so she could have stabilized their relationship. I'm like, ma'am, no. No, you're not about to stabilize their relationship. That already makes me feel like you would have been way too involved, more involved than you needed to be. You just need to be comfortable with the type of person your son is deciding to marry. You don't need to be there to stabilize their relationship. They two grown ass people. That's their responsibility to stabilize their relationship. She has decided that she's gonna stay with somebody in LA for a little while so that she can see their relationship play out if they plan on getting her blessing, because her blessing means a lot, okay? So Solani says, with all of that considered, she's decided that they need to take a step back. So she takes the ring that he gave her off her finger and puts it on a necklace, and she says she is gonna wear it, but they need to work out some of their issues first, because she didn't realize how her son felt. You know, fuck the rest of the family. It's really about how her son felt. So that's why she decided to say that they shouldn't get married right now. And they still together. They stayed together after the fact. And, you know, they're going through counseling, getting help, because he needs it. He needs to deal with his own issues separate from their relationship before he can fully be involved in the relationship and be the man and the husband that she needs him to be, and the stepfather that he needs to be. He needs to be able to have open lines of communication with that boy, because if he doesn't, then their relationship is not going to be good. And the last thing you need is to have some fucked up ass stepdaddy in your house. Like that. Don't nobody need that, okay? But hopefully they will work out all their issues. They still together. I thought this episode was good, y'all. I thought it spoke on some things that we don't normally speak of as far as PTSD. And I personally feel like you don't need to just be in the military or the Navy or something in order to have experienced PTSD. These kids that grow up in the hood and they've seen people dead in front of their face and all of that. It's a whole bunch of PTSD going on. Katrina victims. It's a whole bunch of PTSD going on. Okay, that people don't deal with, that they need to get help with, so that they can be able to process their emotions and their feelings adequately, so that it doesn't get in the way of the relationships that matter to them. Because his issues are now getting in the way of his relationship. Whether he wants it to work out or not, he has to work on himself first. And I say that for everybody. So yeah, y'all, Family and Fiance was good this week, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I will see y'all for Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion, baby. It's gonna be good.